dance for joy, your last alright.
Welcome to Sensible Secondhand Reviews, this series where we look at practical and sensible cars that you can buy for a budget of between £1,000 and £5,000. This is a 2017 Lexus CT200h Premier. But is it any good? Should you care? Let's find out, shall we? So the CT200h was sold in this country between 2011 and 2020, although you do see some of these on 2021 plates. The only engine drivetrain option was a 1.8 four-cylinder with this hybrid system with a combined output of 134 horsepower. There were other types of CT available in other countries, but we didn't get those. We just got this one. But when you have remarkably low running costs on this, I think this car is averaging something like 56 miles per gallon. And, you know, the tax has been very low for years on these. I think that's not so big a problem. Right, let's put my foot down. I'm going to put this car into sport mode. On the earlier ones, you actually got a rev counter. When you put it in sport mode, you don't get it on this, but there we go. 0 to 60 is about 10 seconds. It's not the nicest sounding car when you accelerate hard. It's really not. Let's just put it back into eco mode. There we go. Yeah. And it will do 0 to 60 in about 10 seconds, but that's not really what this car's about. It's aimed at the more sort of mature driver, I think, who wants to eke out fuel economy and things like that. Let's put it into the B mode so we get some redundant braking. There we go. That's nice. We might even sort of be able to go into EV mode. There we go. We are in EV mode, actually. Maybe we're going too fast for that. I think the maximum speed that you could drive along in EV mode and not use any engine power is about 28 miles an hour. We're doing more than that, so then when we slow down we'll go into EV mode. Yeah, the steering's nice and light. It's an electric system in this car. If I stick it into sport mode, I'll just see if the steering firms up a bit. Yeah, it does. It just weights up nicely. There we go. So that's probably how I would want to drive it, but maybe we actually want to go into the EV mode because we want to eke out a better fuel economy. It's a difficult decision. Ideally, I want the sport mode steering with the eco drivetrain, but you know, there we go. The CVT gearbox, it kind of whines and makes noises and things like that, so it's not necessarily the most sort of dynamic car to drive, but I don't think the average Lexus CT200h owner would be really bothered about that. I think this CT200h isn't really a bad looking car. It looks maybe a little bit old fashioned these days, but you've got to remember these came out 14 years ago. So there we go. This car has got a little scuff just there, as you can see. That is going to be fixed for the new owner, whoever buys this. It does look good in this facelifted form. 17-inch wheels on this. It's one of the high specification ones. There was only ever one powertrain available in this, very similar to the third generation Prius. In fact, underneath and in the cabin there's lots of different things that remind you of that particular car. I haven't driven one of these actually. I think I've only driven one Prius and it was a 4th generation one. So yes, a typical CT200h owner would be on the older side, I think, for these cars. And they do hold their value quite well. I'm not really that surprised actually. They're a nice sort of compact, handy size, but they feel very high quality, and of course you get incredible efficiency in these cars. The 1.8 that's in these cars is actually one of the most thermally efficient engines in the world. It's about 35% efficient. So this is a Premier model. It dates from 2017. These finished production, I think, in 2020, but you do see them also in 2021 registration. So quite a long production life, about 9 years for these cars, and they never changed a great deal during that time. The early ones still look quite similar to these later ones. Let's open up the boot. It's around 375 litres. It's kind of, you know, typical for a car of this size. Really the nearest equivalent would be a BMW 1 Series, but because although you could buy an F-Sport model of these, you didn't get any more power, you just got firmer suspension. It would be a very different sort of buyer than the BMW with a whole range of different powertrains, but maybe less efficient than this. Not really much to say about this. I don't think you could get a spare wheel in this. I think it's be full of hybrid batteries and things like that to lift that up. Oh no, I lie. There is a spare wheel in there. Excellent. So we've got packaging with all the hybrid batteries and things, and a spare wheel too. It's not the biggest. This slope is probably not very accommodating. I suppose you could maybe take some of these sort of bits out of here and put more space and put more stuff in there if you wanted to, though. Right, better get in the back. Got electric seats in this particular car as well, with heated seats. I like the lighter colour interior. I think it's cream rather than beige. Let's get in here. One of the main criticisms of this car when it came out was limited rear space, particularly compared with the Prius it's based on. And yeah, it is not great. The headroom's all right. That's fine. It's the legroom, and it's not wonderful. Maybe I should move my seat a little bit forward, perhaps. But yeah, not the best. At least you've got map pockets. Haven't got any door bins. The rear windows are quite small, actually. We've got a Mark Levinson sound system in this car. Very nice, viewers. It all feels just very, very well made. There's no rear armrest though, which is a real surprise. I mean, acres of lovely light-coloured leather and no armrest. It's a shame. And also these door tops look like they're taken out of, I don't know, an hour or something like that. It's not the highest quality fitting, but very, very durable, obviously. And leather feels good. Let's get in the front. Keyless entry, of course, in this. There we go. Electric memory seats. I do like a bit of luxury, viewers. We've also got the cruise control switch again, off something like, I don't know, an Aris it would be at this time. Power folding mirrors. And dual zone climate control. Micro SD card. Interesting. Ooh. When the map goes in there. Yep, we've still got a CD player, excellent. Mark Levinson Premium Surround. Wow, look at these controls of the heated seats. You can adjust them to within an inch of their lives, like fine adjustments for the heated seats. That's amazing. I've never seen anything like that before. You've got Eco, Normal and Sport mode. We can go for EV mode. This car actually drove her in EV mode. That's the controller for the infotainment system, which isn't as bad as I thought. It's much worse than the Lexus RC that I drove last year, which actually is still at Summit Garage for some reason. But there we go. There's the power button. This looks really weird, this control for the gear lever, but it's not at all. It's actually pretty intuitive. So reverse is up here. That's B mode with the regen braking, which I can't go into at the moment. Actually, maybe we'll just start the car for that. No, sorry, but it's there. That's B mode, and then D is here. Neutral is just in the middle there. There's park. It doesn't take long to get used to at all. We've got this ridiculous foot-operated parking brake, which is a legacy of it being based on a Prius. I don't really like foot-operated parking brakes, but you don't actually have to use it most of the time, so that's fine. See if we can switch the car on. Or maybe we have to close that door first. Perhaps we do. Aha, there we go. I was told on the sport mode that you got a rev counter in these, but maybe you don't. Maybe it's only on the pre-facelift cars that happened, because I can't get it to come on. And EV mode, there we go, all sorts of exciting things. We've got automatic lights, automatic wipers. We've got Bluetooth connectivity, the cruise control switches down here. Let's see if we can actually go through here. So this is a better screen than the pre-facelift cars. They were criticised at the time for having a really low resolution screen in front of the driver. This is better. I mean, it's not amazing by standards of 2025, but this is an 8-year-old car now, so you wouldn't expect that really. We've not got a ton of fuel in here, not absolutely loads. Is this all you get? Is this all the information that we can see? Maybe we go this way. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we got sat nav to start like up there, and this is the control for it. We've got. It actually isn't too bad. I've heard it criticised quite a lot, but it's not. It's not too bad. This I found it relatively easy to use. So there we go. You just gently move this like this, gently move it like this, or gently move it like this. Actually, it's okay. It actually works a lot better than you'd imagine. So I don't know why you need to go into climate, because you've got perfectly good physical controls here, but you know, if you really want to, you can. That's fine. You just nudge it very gently up here, and you can go back, or use the menu button down here. Then this little sort of home button there. It actually, this wouldn't take too long to get used to, I don't think, but really. There's the average fuel consumption figures. My gosh, some of those are like 90 miles per gallon plus. Obviously, I've turned on the B mode, which is the regen braking, although someone told me when I drove an Aris that it wasn't quite that. But as far as I can see, it's the regen braking and things. Yeah, let's go home button here and see if that takes us back to this menu. So the reason the home button is this, which yeah, let's try menu. That's probably better. Yeah, setup and everything. I'm not going to go too much into this. There's not really much else to say particularly. But yeah, it's really not as bad as I thought this would be. You get used to this. No, the car information is really quite sort of basic. It's not really that exciting in here. Unless we can see this sort of the like average fuel economy. 56. Okay, that's fine. Right, let's look. So we looked at both the displays. You can see we've got charge, eco, and power, and then just the normal things like the speedo. They don't wear the engine temperature gauges, so that's one thing I'm not sure about. But there we go. Can I put my secret mission documents in the glove box, viewers? Let's see if we. It's quite a nice action there. Look at that. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get these in though, viewers. This is maybe not going to work. Oh no! Oh no! What? It was all going so well, viewers. Anyway, got a nice soft touch dash. This feels nice with this cream or beige leather on the outside. Center console's nice. You've got USB and aux in, and a 12-volt socket here. Got all three in there if you want them. Nice big cut pods because Lexus sells well in America. It's necessary to have it. Storage there as well, felt lined. That's good. It's very nice in here, viewers. I like it quite a lot. I like it more than I expected to like it, actually, to be honest. Let's turn that off. Yeah. Sunglasses holder in here. Nice light headliner. That's a pretty nice car, this. But you wouldn't believe how much these cost. This car is a 17 plate, and fair enough, it's done 23,000 miles. But it's up for about £16,000. I mean, you can buy an early one for less than £5,000 now, but it would be quite high mileage. Obviously, they have a reputation, these cars, of absolutely peerless reliability. And to be honest, that's kind of founded. So, yeah, they're not the cheapest on the market, but you are paying for sort of quality and, you know, that reputation of reliability. So maybe that's worth it. Two different coolant reservoirs in here. Got one for the engine and one for the battery, I think. Standard on these hybrid cars. Lexus hybrid drive. I think this engine develops around 134 horsepower with the petrol engine combined with the electric motor. It looks a bit complicated to work on, but generally these are very, very dependable cars. So you're not likely to have too many problems with them. Obviously, as they age, there will be things that need doing, but I've heard of these doing 200,000 to 300,000 miles. So, yeah. Also, I think it looks quite nice. But the grills on the Lexuses just get bigger and bigger, don't they? This is obviously a manageable size at the moment, but yeah, the next models that came along, things like the NX and the UX, they are a lot bigger. Anyway, it's time for me to stop waffling and let's get back on the road, shall we? So, tootling on along now through the outskirts of Dudley, near Summit Garage. This is where the car seems to come. It's really comfortable. The visibility seems okay. It's not as big a car as the Prius it's based on, I don't think. So it seems a bit more compact. Just very quiet. No hassle. We've even got a bit of regen braking here, so we don't even have to use the brakes all the time if we don't want to. Just a very, very pleasant car to drive, really. I quite like this. I don't know why particularly I like this so much, but I do very much. I like all the sort of luxury features and everything like that. I like the way that the sound insulation is really good in this. It's just not the fastest or most dynamic car, but if you're just, I don't know, commuting to work or something like that, and this car is going to be a reliable companion, which they generally are, then why wouldn't you want something like this? The only thing is they're quite expensive. You can buy, a lot of other cars that do very similar things for a lot less money, but they're not engineered on this kind of level as this car is. So that's probably what appeals to people about these. But yeah, I'm quite impressed with this, really, viewers. I'm quite happy to be driving this today. Let's quickly look at some trim levels for the TL Generation Tucson again, viewers. So we've got the S and the S Connect, the SE Nav, which is the one we tested last time, then the Premium and the Premium SE. I'd probably go for one of those personally. This N line, the Go SE Special Edition, and then the Sport Edition. It's worth bearing in mind that you don't get any more power on the N line of a Sport Edition. You do get different suspension, but not any more power. The only things I've found that these cars suffer from is carbon build-up on the 1.6. Normally that's really petrol. The automatic gearbox is sealed for life and it's got no dipstick. I'd probably just go for a manual personally. But those do have clutch wear, so just make sure you check the clutch when you drive one, which I have done, and it's fine. These cars were built in a lot of different places: South Korea, Czechia, China, Taiwan, Brazil, India, Malaysia, Russia, Vietnam, Algeria, and Pakistan. So very popular all over the world. Should you consider one of these, viewers? You can pick them up, an early one, which is on high mileage, for under £5,000 now. And I think this is one of the best buys in the sector. The only thing is, do you prefer the Sportage or one of these? I still don't know. I need to drive a 1.6 turbo Sportage to be sure, but it's really down to your preference and what your individual cars like, and whether you like the styling of which one you want to buy. I think I prefer the styling of this. I wouldn't have necessarily the N-line model. I'd have a Premium SE, but that's just being picky, really. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment below, and we will see you again very soon for some more reasonably priced motoring.